Hey everyone, welcome to our next JavaScript information video tutorial here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create another page, and what we're going to do is we're going to have it where it uses CSS variables to change colors. Let me show you an example real quick. So the functional purpose of this is if you have a website where you ever want to change the theme like light mode, dark mode, something like that, this is probably how they do it. So what we have, we're going to do just, of course, a basic version of that where you have one color theme present here. You can click it and you can change and completely do another color theme with just the click of one button. I think it works awesome. It's something that I enjoy knowing how to do, and hopefully you will as well. So let's go ahead and get started. We have our skeleton, which is the spot where a lot of things start. So go ahead and let's put that inside of VS Code, or if you're using Caret, do that. We're going to go ahead and do a new file and save that as, we'll call this one CSS or JS underscore CSS variables .html, and let's go ahead and get into it. So the first thing I think we're really going to need to do here is we're going to need to pick some color theme, and we're going to create our root here. We're going to put our CSS variables up here to start with, so we have an initial color theme. So to do this, I have our good old colors.co, and hopefully I'll remember to link this in the description, or not the description, sorry, too much YouTube. Link this in the assignment in Google Classroom, and we're just going to use our Explore here to get a couple of different color themes. It doesn't even matter a whole lot what they are. I just want them to kind of match a little bit. And the one that I use, this is one that I used. I used, I think, this one. Just what you're going to do is you're going to end up picking 3. So for the first one, what you're going to do is you're going to create the following CSS variables in your document. And to save you the pain and suffering of watching me type, I just kind of put them in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to have these 6 colors that we have as part of your page. So it does not matter what the actual color codes are. It does matter what the variable names are. Please make sure that they're the same as mine, at least for now. And please make sure that you double check and make sure that you have capitalization correctly and everything is indeed correct with the typing. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to change our body, and we're going to actually apply our variables to our page to start with, so we can change them down the road. So our body, as opposed to being a background of white, what we're going to do is we're going to use our var, and we're going to make this main color. So we're going to have a darker body of this. The header is, we're actually going to go ahead and put a background color on this header as well. We're just going to do background. Sorry, that's how we've doing it. And my goodness, this is a typing night for me. I apologize. So what we're going to do for that is we're going to do our accent color light. And that'll be kind of something that we can set our header apart from a little bit. So for our navigation, what we're going to do is we're going to use our, I forgot what the color was called now, accent color dark is what we're going to do. And we're going to use that same accent color dark for our footer, as a matter of fact, as well. So color, for the color right here, we're actually going to use a variable as well. And this will be, since this is a dark background, this will be the light text variable that we do in here. And then it'll be the same, actually, we're just going to copy that navigation. And we're going to put that same thing in footer so that light text color applies to that. Now we have a specific variable for our background color for our container. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do our dash dash. We had container color, so that is going to be what we want it to look like. All right, let's take a quick moment and preview. So again, it's not a final site, so it can be a little bit off, but that looks fine enough, I think. We're just going to kind of go with it and call it good. And what we've done is, if you look, we've applied a variable to pretty much everything on our screen, with the exception maybe of our text color inside of our container, but that's all right. We can kind of go with it and call that good here. So I think we've actually used all of our classes pretty much, but that's okay. I think we'll be fine. The things that we're going to put down in the container here is we're just going to do two things. We are going to put in here 2 buttons. I should probably use the button as well here. So I'm just going to copy this. For each button, as we know, we are going to do an on-click event. And we're just going to leave it blank for right now because that's all good. We're actually going to do, I think, 3 buttons. And color theme 1, color theme 2, and color theme 3. So that's kind of all that we need inside of our HTML. Let's just do just a little bit of styling for the buttons right here. So for our button, what we're going to do is we're going to give this a padding. I can spell, really. We're going to give this a padding of 2.5 VH. We're going to change the font size to 1.25 rems. My goodness gracious. And then we're going to change the width to be, we'll say 12 V8, VW, since it's a width. And then I don't think we need to change a height. Let's take a quick look. Make sure I didn't do anything crazy. Yeah, fine enough. Sounds good. Let's go ahead now and change our background color and our color for that. So what we're going to do for the background is, of course, we are going to use a variable. And we'll use accent color. Well, let's see if we can do what we see. We'll use our main color as that. And then for the color of our text, should type var first. We're going to use, since we have a darker color, we're going to use a light text color and call that one good. Let's just go take a double check right here. And I really do like the variables quite a lot, just because you don't really have to think about color so much. You already have a color scheme in place, and it really works out nicely, I think. We're just going to save the button, the hover, and all that stuff. We'll do that later. Or probably, actually, in this case, not at all. So let's go ahead and now do the JavaScript portion of this and get the JavaScript working and set up so we can go ahead and we can make this change. So as you would expect, we're going to put our script tag down here at the bottom. And what we're going to create is we're going to create a couple of different variables. This is going to be a constant. A constant is something that is not expected to change. So this variable is always going to be the same, and this we'll call color 1. And what we're going to do is, opposed to the normal assignment, we're going to put these square brackets. So what this square bracket is it's an array. So an array is contains multiple points of data. In this case, is going to contain 6 colors, and we can access those in a different way. That way, they're all kind of together. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of cheat. We're going to just do our quotations. Oops, that's not the right thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, and then 6. So we have 6 CSS variables. We're going to have 6 different colors inside of our colors 1. And then let's go ahead and do colors 2 and colors 3 as well. It's going to be the same setup. Actually, we're going to do one more thing inside of here. We're just going to put our hashtags. Doesn't matter, meh, but when we copy it from the colors website, it's going to be a little bit, they don't have the hashtag, so let's just put it in. Why, I may as well type it once, right? So colors 2 will be our next array, and colors 3 will be our final one. So you notice that I did not type the word function. So this is just right inside of our script tag, and this is going to be something that's available all the time, this constant with our color codes right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to use the color codes for colors 1. We're going to use the colors that we already have in our site that are put in our variable values already. Now, because it annoys me to go and copy and paste and type and whatever and scroll through this thing, what I did, I just copied my colors. I just copied my whole variable section, and I'm just going to put them right in here. So I'm just going to do Control X to cut, Control V to paste, and that way they're all right here. I know it says errors like mad. Don't worry. It's going to be fine. It'll be more fun if I had a mouse that wasn't in the wrong spot, but I guess that's a problem I'll have to solve later. Here we go. So we got all of these here. Let me, well, we just got 2 more, I guess. And then, sorry, you're going to have to suffer through me talking through this part. So these colors right here are storing this in the array is going to be the thing that makes it so we can actually just really easily change what we have. So now we have all 6 colors in our array. I'm going to erase our variables right here. And so this is what your colors 1 should look like right here. It doesn't look like a whole lot of information. It looks kind of weird to be there, but it's going to be super useful when we put it into JavaScript. So what you're going to do now is you're going to get 2 other color themes from colors. So the way that you're going to do this is on the colors website, you're going to pick a different one. So for example, if we do this one, we'll make the main background. We'll do something, try and make sure that they're super contrasting. That way it's not confusing to me if I see it. So we'll do kind of this one right here. I kind of like this color. So what you're going to do is you're going to copy each color code, and then remember where you're going to put this when you get down to it. This will be our main background color right here. And then we'll do make sure that they're in the same order that you want them to go. So I'm going to pause this real quick and just put mine in. That way you don't have to watch. You should do the same. Go ahead and put your colors in. All right, so we have our colors in here. I have mine that I did earlier put in. So color theme 1 is this. Color theme 2 is going to be this. And color theme 3 is going to be this one right here. You can use whatever colors you want. It does not matter. It is all good. That's what I used. So you're free to feel free to use what I did, but I would honestly prefer it if you use something different. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a function, and we're going to call this change colors. So we're going to just write this function real quick and make sure it works. Then we're going to modify it to meet our 3-color theme sort of situation. So we're going to, again, declare another constant, something that doesn't change. We're going to call this one R. So R is going to be all of our root elements. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our document, and we're going to do this thing called the document element. And this one's a little bit new to me. It's a very, very new thing. So we'll just kind of see how it goes, and it should be fine. But this is how we access our variables, as we do that through our document element. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say r.style.setProperty. And in this case, we're going to set our dash dash main color. And our main color is going to be the first thing in our colors array. And I'm actually going to use colors. Oh, whoopsies. It'll be element 0. So now colors is not the right thing. It's actually colors 2 in this case, because colors 1 is already set. We're going to use colors 2 to make sure that this changes. So we have this property, main color, colors 2, index 0. So when you have an array, you refer to them by index. So in computer, 0 is the first thing. So index 0 would be this first number we put. Index 1 would be the second number we put. And this is going to kind of look like this when we're done. We're going to reuse this line. And we're just going to copy it 5 more times so we can not have to retype it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is what we have. So we have 6 colors, index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to change our property. So dash dash container color is going to be the next one. Then we have, for our next variable, it should be accent color dark. And just to save us all some frustration, I'm just going to kind of copy paste them in. Accent color light, dark text is our next variable. And light text is our next one. So this is kind of how we go and we change each variable color. And this is, I think, really probably the easiest way to access this, because since we've applied all of these colors in different places using this variable, we just have to change one thing and we can change the colors on the entire page. So the last thing left to do for this is to apply our function. We want color theme 2 here. So change colors like that. And remember that you have to make this function match exactly what you have down here. Let's go ahead and save this and see if it works. I'm hoping for the best, but JavaScript does get weird sometimes. So if we click color theme 2, it does indeed change. Now, how do we modify this to do 3 different colors without writing a whole bunch more code and doing some crazy stuff? Well, the answer to that is going to be if statement. So I'm sure that you've done at some point in time an if statement. And that what that does is that it's a simple conditional statement to see if something matches a given condition. So we're going to go and we're going to pass in theme number. And let me make sure I can spell, which is not good. Theme number. So this theme number is the way we're going to pass this in, and we'll show you that. I've shown you that a little bit in the past, and this will kind of work out in a similar way. So if our theme number, and we'll put 2 equal sign because it's a comparison operator. If our theme number equals 1, and then what we're going to do is we're going to just copy our if statement here. And change it to 2 and change it to 3. Now this part I actually haven't tested yet. So if things don't work out super great, sorry, I'm hoping for the best. So actually we're going to do Control X and cut that. So that what we just did is color theme 2. What we're going to do is we're going to put that stuff inside of color theme 2, and that should be good. Now, the change actually is super easy. Since we set it up very wisely, I think, if I don't say so myself, what we're going to only have to do is instead of colors 2, this will be colors 1. And that looks like it's giving me some sort of an error. COLORS1. Oh, yeah, it is definitely an error. We have to make sure that our first variable is called colors1. Just make sure that you change that so I don't have a bunch of questions. That was a big mistake on my part. So colors1 will be our, if our theme number is 1, we're going to use colors1. If our theme number is 2, we're going to use colors2. And if our theme number is 3, and you notice that I'm indenting all this stuff. I do that kind of without talking about it. You can see that just like our CSS and HTML, I like things to be aligned like this. It just looks so much neater, and it's so much better and easier to read. And if you don't do it for yourself, do it for me, so I don't have to suffer through changing code that I can't read if the need arises. So our colors 3 is like this. We just change, oops, that. So it's actually a really simple change, and hopefully it's going to work out great. So let's go ahead and change our function. So now we called our function up here. Now we can't just call change color. Remember, we have to put something in our parentheses now. So for button theme 2, it's going to be a 2. For theme 1, it's going to be a 1. And for theme 3, it's going to be a 3. Now, the thing that I should have tested and I did not is if this is going to come in as an integer, as a number, or as a string of text. And I guess we're about to find out. And if we have to pause the video and I have to figure it out, well, it's a thing. So let's go ahead and double check and refresh our page. So theoretically, when we click color theme 2, it should change. 3 is our third one, and color theme 1 is our first one. It's always wonderful when something you didn't test works out. Thank goodness. Okay, so that's kind of the idea, and that works because this number in here corresponds to our if statement down here in the code. So when we say click and we pass in 3 as a parameter to our function, since that 3 is in parentheses, that is what the value of theme number becomes. That's how you pass that value in, and that's how we change between the different things and use our if statements to control the flow of this particular program. All right, so that is JavaScript color themes. If you have any questions, please let me know. Other than that, I'll see you for our next video shortly.